am I here? How y'all doing? How are y'all doing? Y'all, listen. I be doing stuff with these phones and don't know what I be doing, okay? I scheduled this live using my phone, thinking I would be able to use the computer and still go live, and YouTube said, no, that's not how it works. But anyways, we made it. Let me know if y'all are still here. Hey, y'all. Hey, listen. Do you all understand how, or have you ever noticed? Here's the question. Have you all ever noticed how our friendships can really shape who we are, right? Have y'all noticed that you may have a friend that pushes you to be your best self, but on the other hand, you may have one of them friends that's always getting you into some shit? What y'all know about that? Have y'all noticed that that is very much so possible and that that actually happens? You got one friend who is like, she's your girl, she's your guy, or he's your guy, and they push you to become your best self. They push you to be who and what you were meant to be. And then on the other hand, you got that friend that's always, it's always something going on with that friend. You got to be prepared with that friend. Have y'all noticed that in y'all's lives? I have, and I had a recent experience with one of my good girlfriends who I actually met in these YouTube streets, and she has supported me, and I'm going to tell y'all about that. Hey, girl, hey, Shaquila. Hey, girl, hey, Celestial Earth Goddess. Hey, my girl, Emma. Hey, girl. What is up? What's up to all the fellas here? Hey, Dream. Hey, 47 Orion. Hey, Jadian, that's a pretty name. Hey, Maya. Hey, girl, hey. I'm sure all of us can relate to that sentiment that you have some friends that push you to be your best self, and then you got some other friends that will pull you into some shit, right? That push-pull dynamic. I'm sure y'all have experienced that. So, for me, y'all, on Monday, here's what happened. Monday, I'm upstairs doing the Patreon reading. Y'all know how we do. Every Monday morning, we're dropping a reading in Patreon. I'm upstairs doing the reading, and I'm about to upload it. And Dream calls me, and he's like, yeah, I'm about to go get KJ from school. And I'm confused because it's only like 10 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, why are we going to go get him from school? Like, what has happened? And Dream basically tells me that KJ is feeling upset because he's thinking about his great grandpa. My grandfather passed away in just this past November. And so KJ is very much so an empath. He's very much so intuitive, and he feels things. And so he was in class and he felt sad thinking about his grandfather that passed away. And so Dream goes and picks him up from school early and brings him home. Now, I don't know about all the mamas in here or the fathers or if you take care of a child, but for me, my kids are a major point of sensitivity for me, right? Like, they make me feel things, right? And so KJ gets home, and I'm sitting there talking to him, and we're discussing how he's feeling, what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. And it leads me to feeling some type of way. And so I'm like, I need to talk to a good girlfriend, right? Like, Dream, that's my man, that's my baby, that's my love. I love him. But he's still in the masculine form of father. And so at that moment in time, I felt a need and urge to talk to another mother. Have y'all ever felt like that, where you have people in your circle who love you, who understand you, but because they don't feel the same role that you are feeling, right? Because they don't necessarily have the same energy or understanding of things the way you have them. Sometimes you need to consult with people who are mothers or our fathers or our teachers sometimes you just need to communicate with a person who is the same as you in a specific space and place. And so I ended up messaging my good sis Iman, and I was like, hey girl, you free? And she was like, yeah, I'm free, I'm gonna call you in a bit. And so she calls me and we get on the phone and we just start talking about mothering, right? Because she's a mother. Her children are grown. Like her youngest daughter just turned 18. So she's done the whole mothering thing, right? I'm still, even though I have 4 kids, the oldest one is 8, I'm still like mothering is still very new. Even though it's ancient, it's still very new because I'm still having so many experiences. So we chit chat about mothering and how our kids can really cause us to have this pause, how our kids can really make us, kind of sit with ourselves, which KJ did for me that day. And so she's just empowering me, uplifting me. She's just like, girl, the simple fact that you're even thinking like this and asking these questions and wanting to know how to best support your son as a mother, that already says you're the bomb.com as a mom, right? So she's saying those things. And that part of the conversation had ended. The mothering part of the conversation had ended, and we started talking about our business. And so I'm like, yeah, girl, I'm planning on doing this, but I'm feeling a little hesitant. I'm, not really knowing the direction I want to go in. And I'm probably having a little bit of imposter syndrome. Honey, when I tell you, my friend, my sister, when I tell y'all, she activated something inside of me. She said something to me like, this is what you were called to do. Like, let's go. And I was just like, I literally messaged her back and I said, you don't know how much those words turned on a light bulb inside of me. I had called her initially for us to talk about mothering and wifing and those things, but I ended up receiving something that I needed so badly. I ended up being reminded of who the hell I am and what it is I'm meant to do and why I should not have no fear in the pursuit of my dreams, my goals, my aspirations, and fulfilling my calling. And so right after that happened, I had messaged her back and I was like, damn, like, it is so important to have friends in your life that are for your triumph. They're for your success. They're for your winning. They're for your greatness, right? Because I could have taken that same conversation to another friend and maybe that friend could have helped me out in the realm of mother. But the friend of business, right? Right? Like my friend who I was talking to, Iman, she owns a business, spiritual businesses, and she does sacred work. So she understands that, right? But another friend that I have probably couldn't activate something inside of me the way she did. And so I messaged her back with so much gratitude and appreciation. And then I was just like, damn, like, we need this. Men and women, we need healthy connections with people that help us to be triumphant, that help us to win, that can support us in getting out of these spaces and places that could feel heavy or that can feel emotional. Okay? And so that's why we're here today, because I want to tell y'all how I was able to attract a friend like Iman and so many other friends that I have that are gems in my life. They are soulmates to me. They are people who literally, and so let's say this. There are 3 things that I want you all to understand when it comes down to triumph friends and trauma friends, because we got some friends that are trauma bonds and then we have some friends that are triumph bonds. And I just made that up earlier today because that's how Spirit gave it to me. Okay, you got your trauma, you got your triumph. Which one are you connecting to? Which one are you feeding? Which one are you giving energy to, right? So 3 things. Okay, let me ask y'all this. Do we want to talk about the triumph friends or do we want to talk about the trauma friends? Which one y'all want to talk about first? I want to bring y'all into the conversation. Which one y'all want to talk about first? Good, bad, the ugly. Which one? Y'all let me know in the comments. Which one? I just told y'all a little bit about my triumph friend, but we can move into the trauma bonds because a lot of people have trauma bonds. Trauma bonds is a big like trigger word, and we can talk about it. Ooh, we getting some back and we getting trauma. Stephanie wanted to jump right into the triumph. Everybody else said, let's talk about the trauma. Love it. So let me see. We got 2 triumph, 3 trauma, 4 trauma. So y'all want to talk about the trauma bonds first. Okay, well, let's do that then. Because you know why that's good? Because you got to go through some trauma to get to the triumph. You got to go through some trauma to get to the triumph. So that's where we're going to go. Okay, that's where we're going to go. Peace and love to all of y'all. And let me start back and say, hey girl, hey to Stephanie. Hey Stephanie girl. Hey my girl Bree. Super Sands, what's up, brother? What's up, Black Zeus? How you doing, Zeus? We're doing good over here. We are doing good over here. As the good church folks would say, we are blessed and highly favored. Hey girl, hey Carissa, hey. Okay, we're blessed and highly favored, as the good book says, right? And 222, it is 222. Yes. Balance, right? And Carissa, we'll talk about some betrayal. Remind me to mention that, all right? Peace, Ethan's dad. All right, so let's start with the trauma. There are 3 things that I recognize are the bond or the glue that keeps us connected to trauma bonds, right? The first thing is there's an emotional connection. There's a shared pain, right? So that shared pain that you've all both experienced is the glue that keeps you connected to this person. Oh my goodness. And let me tell you, not all trauma bonds, relationships have to be completely severed. These relationships wither, right, on their own. You don't have to say, ooh, I'm done with this person because they just getting on my nerves. Right? You don't have to do all of that, right? As you continue to grow these trauma bonds, you just have less contact with this person. You just have less communication with this person. It's just, you just recognize that you are not on the same frequency, and therefore the relationship separates, right? But you have to become aware that you're no longer on the same frequency. And I will tell you all, some of the trauma bonds that we make are relationships where somebody may see your light. Oh, somebody may see your light. They may see your glow. They may see your magic. They see you shining. And they decide, oh, look at her. Look at him. They doing the damn thing. Their life is looking good. I'm going to become friends with them. And because a part of your light is this energy of love, is this energy of abundance, is this energy of connecting, right? Is this energy of wanting to see everybody win, wanting to be a part of community. Because you have that energy, a person that is in their trauma, a person that is maybe living from a place of lack, right? Maybe living from a place of woe is me, or the world is this, or can't like that person will attach themselves to a person like you, who is vibrant, who is light, who is loving, who has a lot of energy to give, because all they come to do is take. And when you realize and recognize that there isn't reciprocation in that relationship, honey, when you recognize that there's a lack of reciprocation, that person is going to flee. Because the only reason why they were in your space in the beginning was because they subconsciously knew that you were unaware of their intentions. But once you become aware of it, now they can't stay there. They're like, oh, she saw me. She gets it. She knows that I'm not righteous, right? And so they'll naturally separate themselves. They'll just stop calling more. They'll, like, something will just happen. They'll move to another side of town. They'll move, like, something will just happen where the bond, the glue of that relationship is loosened, because you were able to identify the spirit, the energy, the entity that was connected to that being. Once you see him, once you see a lot of these trauma bond relationships, the trauma goes unknown for a long time, right? You don't know what is actually connecting you to this person. Here's an example. So good. So, one of my high school friends, right? One of my high school friends, we have been thick as thieves since ninth grade, right? And we used to do all type of shit together. In fact, if I'm being all the way real, our trauma that we bonded over together was the trauma of wanting attention, right? So this specific friend, when we were growing up, she drove the Mercedes Benz, right? She had all the True Religion jeans. She lived in the big house in the big neighborhood, right? That was who she was, right? But what she was lacking was the emotional support and the emotional love from her parents. So instead of them giving her the love, like, I'm here for you, I support you, I'm with you, I see you, they bought her love. Okay? So there was still a deficiency in receiving her parents' love. My experience was, my mom was there, she was present, she was showing up, but she didn't know how to emotionally support me at the time. So whenever I would feel emotions, it was, I don't got time for that. It was, I can't handle that. It's what you crying for. I'm going to give you something to cry about. Have y'all ever heard that before? You a kid. You're a kid. You're crying. You're feeling some type of way about something. And your mama is like, I'm going to give you something to cry about. Right? That was the kind of mother that I had. So we bonded over the idea of lacking emotional support, and we used to seek and search for emotional support outside of ourselves. This led us to skipping school. We would skip school and we would go like buy some weed. I never learned how to roll, right? I never learned how to roll. That was what she used to do, right? She was that person. But we would skip school, or at the end of the day, when you got that class that don't really matter, it's not a main course class. It's not like English, math, history. It's like theater or something. Yeah, theater class. We would skip theater class. We had cars. We would skip theater class, go pick up some weed from somewhere, roll it up, find a nice park and smoke and talk about all the shit, right? Y'all been there before. So that was my friend. We bonded over needing that emotional support and attention. So I went off to college and still was that same needy girl. I vividly remember. I had came home from college. So one of these same friends, I had came home from college. It was like a spring break, Christmas break. It couldn't have been Christmas because it was hot. So it must have been like a spring break, or even it doesn't even matter. It was a break from school and I came home, right? So I came home, and my friends, all my high school friends, they're like, we're going to go to this beach party. There's this beach party out here, right? So we go to this beach party and we're drinking, y'all, and we're drinking the most disgusting alcohol ever. Y'all tell me in the chat, what is one of the most disgusting, raunchy, cheap alcohols that you used to get when you was young? Let me know in the comments. Y'all remember? It's brown. It's brown. And you can get a big bottle for real cheap. Because, we were still kind of college students. We were still struggling. We didn't have no jobs and stuff then. So we was drinking on some cheap liquor. Do y'all know what that liquor is? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. It starts with an E. It ain't Mad Dog. 2 letters. E and J. E and J. What y'all know about that? Is that just a Texas thing? E and J, also known as Irk and Jerk. What y'all know about that? Have y'all ever tried it before? Oh my goodness. That E and J, I could never, ever again in my life. That's how I knew I was in a trauma bond, because you could not pay me to drink something like that. But when you're in trauma, You're not your real self. Your taste buds is off. And let me tell you, your taste buds is off, okay? Your taste in men is off. Your taste in friends is off. Your taste in clothes is off. Your taste buds is just off. Your taste in alcohol is clearly off, okay? When you connected to the wrong people. Because I had a taste for some irk and jerk, even though I knew it was disgusting. You needed some ice. You needed some Coca-Cola. And you can drink that on up. Honey, I used to dress different when I hung around that specific group of friends. You know, the type of person I was attracted to was unhealthy. Everything is just off. So we went to this beach party. We filled up our cups, big styrofoam cups. We stopped at the freaking gas station. You know when you about to get lit and you stop at the gas station and get a styrofoam cup, that's where you're going to get your Coca-Cola. You're going to fill it up with ice. You and all your friends, you go around and you fill that cup up and y'all, yay, we got our drinks. Yeah, that was us. So we're at this beach party and clearly we are on a whole nother level because we just finished a bottle of Irk and Jerk, a big one, right? And so one of my friends is driving the car, but it's traffic because it's a beach party and it's one way into the beach, one way off the beach, and it's chaos, right? So I want to say she accidentally bumped into somebody's car. Like she just tapped somebody's car. No dents, no issues. Should have been fine. But when you on that alcohol, you don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to whatever. So my friend that's in the driver's seat, she bumped into somebody's car, right? No damage done to our car or hers because it's literally bumper to traffic. It's not like you're driving fast, you're going to hit something. Literally, she kind of rolled into the car. So the people in the car in front of us get out the car and they like, you know, you just hit my car. Oh my, y'all. And my friend, because she's lit, she's not in her right mind. And y'all, stop drinking and driving, okay? Stop drinking and driving. It's not worth it, right? So she's not in her right mind. Instead of her being apologetic, instead of her being like, I'm sorry, do we need to exchange insurance? What do we need to do? Instead of her coming from that perspective, she like, you know, she doing all of that, you know, rolling her neck and all of that stuff like that. Why in the hell did the group of girls that were in that car, so they were a group of girls just like we were a group of girls. It was 4 of them. It was probably like 6. It was 4 of us. It was like 6 of them. They came, opened up her car door, pulled her out of the car. This is some trauma shit, y'all. This was traumatic for me. And that was, I was never the same after that. I knew after that, I was done. Because that was too much trauma. We're literally, so they pull her out the car. Of course, all of us have to get out of the car now. And it's a brawl. It's a full-on female brawl. What is that floating? Do y'all see that thing floating? Did y'all just see something white floating behind my head? Did y'all see it or did I just see it? It was something white just floating behind my head. But okay, Spirit. We are in a good flow. Thank you. Yes, you see it? It's still floating? I don't know what it is or where it went. It's disappeared. It's disappeared. So anyways, yeah, they pulled my girl out the car. We all had to get out the car, and it was a full-blown brawl. Now, if they would have known, see, D-Ray today would never be in that situation, right? But D-Ray today is licensed to carry. And some back then, you know, we were still fresh out of college. We weren't prepared. D-Ray today is licensed to carry, okay? So you pulling somebody at that car, you want some trouble, right? You want some trouble. But anyway, so full-blown girl-on-girl brawl. And it was one of the most traumatic experience where we literally were like fighting for our lives. We're on a beach. It's crowded. There's no way to get out. Like, who's stopping this? That moment, though, let me know that those relationships, not with everybody that was there, not with all the girls that were there, but it just let me know that this is not something I can continue to do. This is trauma. This is this is not healthy. There's a spirit, there's an energy connected to these connections that does not align with who and what I desire to be. I was a college volleyball player at that time. I had goals. I had, and thank you God for protection, because that could have, I want to say somebody even died out there on that beach. Because y'all know how things like that be happening. Think Freaknik or whatever. Chaos, like how the end of Freaknik was before they canceled it. Chaos like that. That's what we was experiencing, right? So I just knew that that wasn't healthy. And when I went back to college, I remember telling myself, yeah, I'm not going out with that group of friends like that no more. It's over with. Because literally my life was at risk. But the trauma that bonded us together was this need for attention, lacking this validation from our fathers and our mothers, and not having that emotional support. So we had to sever that tie. And let me tell y'all, one of the ways that you'll know if somebody is a trauma bond, if you go around them and they keep bringing up your past. Girl, we not in 2008 no more. This ain't 2009 no more. If you go around somebody and they always bring up who you used to be and what you used to do, they are attached to that old you, to the unresolved trauma version of you. And so because they are attached to that, they don't want to see you for who you are right now. So that same friend that I was telling y'all about, who we was fighting, skipping school, smoking weed, this was 2022. One of our mutual friends had a birthday party, right? So me, Dream, and our 3 kids at the time go to this birthday party where this old friend is at. Remember, this is a trauma bond. We were connected in high school, but we've severed that connection because I've grown, I've changed, right? The relationships just withered away. We just did not have anything in common. So I am at the party and my kids are in the pool and they're doing their thing, splashing around. This friend says to me, or I should say trauma bond, she says to me, "You remember when you took so-and-so man?" Like, I'm here at a party, maybe 13, so many years removed from high school. You're bringing up a high school experience that was not even real in front of my husband for what? Dream is like right here. He's like sitting beside me. She's right here. "Yeah, you remember when you took so-and-so man? Yeah, we saw her the other day at a party." And right there in that moment, I was like, oh, you can't stand what you see right now. Like what you see right now, like the glow you see right now, this beautiful chocolate man, those beautiful, happy, well-behaved kids, me shining and glowing. You can't stand what you're seeing. Like seeing me in this glow is triggering you. And because it's triggering you, you want to bring up a story that never happened, but you want to project and perceive it that way. So even in that moment, I told her, I said, "You're projecting." She probably had no clue of what that meant, but you feel me, right? You feel me. I told her right there in that moment, "Sis, you're projecting." And it's so sad. It's sad that you're projecting this idea onto me that did not happen, but I guess it's making you feel good. Honey, Dream was didn't even like it was whatever. Like he ain't even worried about whatever you just said, but she tried to dim my light. She tried to shade the beauty of my life. That's a trauma bond. That right when that happened, I said, "Oh, you just proved exactly why I don't fool with you, right? I don't fool with you because you're still attached to an old identity. You're still in 2008, right? You're still in 2009. You're still back there with a belief, a notion, or something that is not even real. But you thinking that and saying that makes you feel safe in the fact that you have not grown. And that's what that was. Sis had not grown. Sis life was, yes, you got a car. You got a Mercedes Benz. You've been driving a Mercedes Benz since we've been in high school. That ain't new to you. Yes, you probably have a nice apartment or a home. Great. But the mental, emotional, spiritual aspects of you are still the same. And because of that, you want to keep seeing Desiree the same way. And that didn't happen. So that's a trauma bond. They remind you of your past. They want to keep talking about who and what you used to be. Trauma, old self, don't want you to move on, don't want you to change. Another way you can know if somebody is a trauma bond is if you have these highs and these lows. Like the relationship is just so drastic. Like one moment y'all are like, I love you, this is so good. The next moment it's like, I can't stand this person. And I had a relationship like that as well. And it's so interesting for women. Let me tell y'all ladies this. I don't know if it's like this for men, but it is definitely like this for ladies. Let me ask y'all this question. Dream and I was talking about this a while back, where we were talking about how if men, for the most part, if a man knows that a woman is in a relationship, he's not going to touch that woman. Or he's not going to try to approach that woman. He ain't even going to try to look at that woman. For the most part. That's what I've observed. Men who know that women are spoken for, especially if she's spoken for by a quality man, especially if she's spoken for by a man, somebody that the man respects, he ain't gonna look at that woman. Would y'all agree? Would y'all agree with that? Now, on the other hand, women may know that a woman is in a relationship or a man is in a relationship. She still may shoot her shot. She still may be, I wonder if I can get him to bite. She still may be, I wonder if I can get him to even look a certain way. I wonder if I can get him to even hint at the fact that he may want to holler. Women, not all women, but this is what I've observed. A woman, Salt and Pepper said it. I'll take your man. Right? It's like women, because we've been trained with this competition energy, a woman could be in love, married, have kids with a man. If a woman feels insecure to whoever that man's woman is, right? She'll say little things. She'll do little things. She'll drop little nuggets, right? To see what that man is going to do. Men aren't doing that unless the man is simpish, unless the man is heavy in feminine energy. What is that? What is that? I've seen that and I've experienced that. Let me tell you what I mean. So I had a friend, right, at the time who we played volleyball together. We started off playing volleyball together in high school, and then we ended up going to play volleyball together in college. And she had this expectation, right? She had this expectation that she was supposed to be a starter. She was supposed to be great. She was supposed to be the one getting the most playing time. We also played the same position. We're also both chocolate. We're also both tall. We had a lot of things in common, right? And so in college volleyball, it started off in high school. In high school, our senior year, we played on the same volleyball team, and I took her spot, essentially, right? I was new to the team, but I was just better. That's just what it is. Dream talking about unless the man is Drake. Exactly. And Drake is known for simping and being in his feminine, womanly bag, right? So I had this friend, right? We played on the same volleyball team together in high school. She had been on the team for years. I had just came to the team for 1 year and became a starter, right? So she felt like I slighted her. I took her position. Even though we know that that's impossible because I don't make the decisions, the coach determines who plays. Cool. Then we went to college. I went to college and thrived, right? She ended up not being able to stay on the team because of scholarship stuff, whatever, whatever. But there was always this underlying, even though I like her, I love her, right? I love her and I still talk to her to this day, right? I have not completely severed the relationship because like I said, we don't necessarily have to do that. People will wean themselves off of you naturally because they don't like to see you in that light. It irritates their spirit, so they can only take small doses of you. Okay? So this specific friend, we went to college together, played together, whatever, and then we came back to Houston together. And this is why I have brought up women and men when it comes down to relationships, right? So this specific friend of mine is at my house. She's at my house. Dream and I just started talking, right? We just started talking. I just moved into a new apartment, and so I had a housewarming party. This friend is there and Dream is there. Dream and I are not official yet. We did not say that we go together. We are exclusive yet, right? So this friend is there and she's standing by Dream, and I'm being a host because I got all of my friends coming in to say congratulations on this apartment. So I'm giving them hugs and hey, I'm glad to see y'all. Get a drink, do this, do that. Hosting. Out of nowhere, Dream comes to me and he has a little bit of an attitude, okay? And I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's the problem? I'm confused, right? And he's like, yeah, your friend just said something slick to me. And I was like, what did she say? She said, if I was going to let you just do all of that, if I was going to let you just be smiling and, being in people's faces. And I was like, did she really say that to you? Like, why would she say that to you? And and he said that she did, and I had to believe him, right? I had to believe him. And so that night though, what she thought was going to destroy what we had created, what we were building, that actually made us stronger. Because that night we had to, because I had told him, I said, but we not exclusive though. And you are, you making me feel like you want to be. So what's up? And that night was the night that we decided that we was going to be together, that we was going to do the damn thing, and that we was going to be exclusive. It was going to be Dream and D-Ray. That was the night that we made that decision. So sometimes in these trauma bonds, they try to say little slick things, do little slick things to disrupt the glow and the growth that you got going on, right? But when you are in a triumphant bond, right? When you are connected with somebody, when the glue that connects you to somebody is that of the divine, is that of the most high, is that of God, is that of growth, healing, and transformation, even when they try to throw a little salt in the game, it don't work. It don't work. It totally amplified and strengthened our relationship. And it's the very thing that made us go to the next level. And I actually, and I asked her about it at some point. Oh, girl, I don't remember that, but Okay, cool. But with that specific person, there's limits to what I'm able to do with her as a friend, because I know there's still a little bit of energy there that may feel jealous, right? Maybe a little envy, right? Stemming back from volleyball days. It don't, Dream is just, collateral damage to this situation because she been felt some type of way, right? I remember one time we were in the car going to the club. Her father had just passed away. Now, this is crazy. Her father had just passed away. Me being the friend that I am, I bring her a bottle of wine. I go to her house. I just spend some time with her. Her father passed away. I go to the funeral. I do all of those things. Some weeks later, it's like New Year's Eve, and I decide, hey, girl, you want to go out? I'm going to come pick you up. Let's go to the club so that you can kind of get your head off of things. You know what the alcohol do. You know what them spirits do. They make you start, you start feeling some type of way. She's drinking, and we're having a conversation. And she says to me, the audacity of this. I mean, but why my daddy? I mean, Dez, she calls me Dez, right? Dez, short for Desiree. I mean, Dez, your daddy wasn't even there for you. Me and my homegirl, me and my other Triumph bond, my other friend, we looked at each other like, why the hell is she bringing up my dad? Because she's feeling some type of way. What does my daddy and his being the weekend father, what does that got to do with you mourning your father? But what she was revealing to me was, again, the jealousy, the how can you be so happy, or what they may call envy, right? Because envy is like, how do you have that? Why do you have that? Like, what makes you so special to have that? So it was an energy like, how are you so happy when your daddy was barely there for you, right? So that type of energy. All of those things are trauma bonds. The last thing of trauma bonds is when a person makes you feel obligated. Like you got to do something with them. You got to do something for them. That's not a triumphant bond, because when you are in obligation, you're not in love. You cannot be in love when you feel like you have to do something. And that's what happened with B. Simone and Megan Ashley's relationship. B. Simone, y'all know the comedian, Wildin' Out. She be doing stuff with Desi Banks. And her best friend, Megan Ashley, they separated. They decided they ain't really friends no more. They not doing their podcast together. This happened maybe a few months ago or whatever. As I went back and like listened to some of their conversations, B. Simone felt obligated to carry the weight of Megan Ashley, the emotional weight of Megan Ashley. Megan is emotional, right? And that's okay to be emotional, but we have to know how to manage our stuff ourselves, right? Because putting that on our friends is not healthy, right? If we don't know how to carry it, right? If we don't know how to, and it's not that we got to carry the cross by ourselves. We can get support. Even when Jesus was carrying his cross, one of them people, I forgot their name, one of them people came and picked up one side of that cross. But you got to be willing to carry it. You got to be willing to carry. You cannot rely on anybody else to carry your shit for you. And that's the difference, right? So when we're in these relationships and you feel like you have to do something, you're obligated to show up, right? Like, I don't like those friendships where I feel like I can't say no. Like if a friend is going out, oh, we going to the club this weekend, da 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 da. If I feel hesitant to say no, that's a problem. That means we don't really have a mutual understanding. I need to be able to say, no, I can't make it, and it's still all love. Okay? So those are trauma bonds. Look out for those things in your trauma bonds, right? Because if those things are showing up, Now, for triumphant bonds, meaning you are connected to each other to support each other in your wins, in your healings, in your transformation, 3 things you want to look for. 1 is activation. Activation. Do they turn on light bulbs inside of you? Do they support you in having that aha moment? Like, that was a bar. I needed that. Right? Do they hold you accountable? Right? One of my good sis best friends, we were just talking on the phone the other day, and her husband, they're in the process of buying a house. And we were talking about it, and Dream and I have already bought a house, right? We've already been through that process. And as she's talking to me and she's telling me, I had to tell her, I said, hey, get them damn applications done. Stop being afraid of just seeing what happens, right? Because her real estate agent had already sent her different lenders, but she had been procrastinating doing the application. And I get it. You got credit scores and income and debt and all of those things, and there could be a fear of, what if I get denied? What if they're not offering enough money for the housing market right now? Like all of these different fears. But you got to face that to see what you can do so that you can move forward. You cannot heal what you refuse to reveal. And so in that conversation, I'm on her like, let's go. I'm gonna hold you accountable to at least get 2 or 3 of those applications done this week. You say you want to move into a house this summer? It's time to get busy. Don't be afraid. Have no fear. What is meant for you is for you. And she's like, you right, D. I gotta go ahead and do it. I gotta move forward. So boom, that. The last thing is achievement. Meaning, you're in a triumphant bond when someone is genuinely happy for you. Genuinely happy for you. And I hope 2 of my sacred sisters see this video soon, right? I got 2 Sacred Sister Circle members, Jerry and Shamika. Hey girl, hey. I miss y'all. I love y'all. Sacred Sister Circle is going to be starting back up at the end of the summer. But anyways, they met in the Sacred Sister Circle. And I knew when I talked to both of them, because anytime I do the Sacred Sister Circle, I have a consultation with all of the ladies individually so that I understand who is coming into the space and how we can support each other. When I had my consultation with both of them, my spirit had already told me that those 2 ladies were going to become sisters and they lived in the same city. I knew they were going to become like instant friends, instant girlfriends. And when I tell you, throughout last year of the Sacred Sister Circle, they supported each other and held each other down through everything, right? I remember them coming into the Sacred Sister Circle. I think like Jerry had moved or something like that. Guess who came to support her in her move? Guess who was like, let's go, let's get this done? Shamika, a friend, a sister that wants to see you win. When it came down to them doing their spiritual work, hey, you meditated today? You took that spiritual bath today? Let's go do this ritual together, right? These are the ingredients that make up a triumphant bond. Activation, they turning something on inside of you. They're supporting you and getting to that next level. Accountability, they gonna hold you to your own word, right? And then lastly, achievement. They celebrate you. They genuinely want you to win. It's not no underlying energy there that's like, I saw a post on Instagram, right? I saw a post on Instagram. A girl made a reel. The audacity of this lady. She made a reel where her sister was in a wedding dress. And the caption of the reel says, when your sister is getting married before you, but you are smarter, prettier, and something else. Like the audacity of a person to feel like they are more deserving than somebody else. That's trauma bond stuff. Okay? That's trauma bond stuff. So here's what I want to leave y'all with, right? Here's what I want to leave y'all with. In order for you to create triumphant connections with people, 1, we have to have self-awareness. We have to know who we are, what we desire. What are we reflecting? What are we putting out there? Okay? You have to really know that. Not only do you want to know what your strengths are, like your gifts, your powers, but you also want to know your weaknesses. Because if you know that you've dealt with abandonment issues, if you know that you've dealt with rejection issues, right? If you know you have a savior complex, which many women have, and men, if you know that about yourself, when you are contemplating your relationships, you'll be able to say, I'm really probably feeling this person because I feel like I can save them. I can help them. I'm going to make their life better. You can say, I'm probably really in this relationship with this person because I need acceptance and they need connection, right? And so we are like a match made in heaven because we need to fulfill these wounds. So you have to have self-awareness first and foremost, right? Number 2, you need to know your archetypical energy. Are you the savior complex? Are you the mystic? Are you the mother? What are you? Because if you know that, you'll connect with people who who are on that same type of frequency. Yes, you absolutely can have trauma bonds in your family as well. This is where they start. Your trauma bonds start in your most intimate relationships, and then you carry them or you spread them out into your connections with others. Okay? But you can turn a trauma bond into a triumph bond. The only way you do that is through self-work. Both people in the relationship have to be working, have to be transforming. This is the alchemy. You are the alchemist. We are alchemists. There's no relationship that we have that is supposed to just stay the same. All relationships are supposed to change. But when a person you're relating with is not willing to change, that's when you know, okay, you're stuck in the trauma. I'm ready to move on. So if a person wants to rise with you, great. You transform that relationship to something better. Okay? You can find out your archetype by typing in on Google. Thank you, Butterfly Purple Silver 444. Go to Google, type in archetypical test, take one of those quizzes, and then see, what resonates with you. Once you know that, you'll know how you are showing up in other people's lives. And based off how you are showing up, you recognize that you are being something that they need. Like a lot of my friends say that I'm mothering, I'm nurturing, I'm encouraging. And a lot of those same friends probably didn't grow up with a mother or father who pushed them and said that they can do whatever they wanted to do. Okay? The last thing I want to tell y'all is to test the spirit of a friend. And I wish I would have known this earlier, right? But I'm grateful to the Most High. I'm grateful to God for the lessons. But you can test the spirit of your friend. Meditate on them. And this is not no witchcraft or whatever people be thinking. This is you going within, speaking to the God within and asking, is this person somebody I'm supposed to build with? Once you feel yourself start to be connected to somebody, before there becomes an entrapment and an entanglement, ask Spirit. Ask Spirit to reveal to you who this person is to you. Show me who this person really is. So before I go to bed, I'm like, okay, Spirit, show me who this person really is. Show me what this really is. And I've seen different stuff. Matter of fact, my good girlfriend Iman, who I had called the other day, I literally saw us in a past life in Africa, working together, having the same type of bond we have now. Right when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's my sis. So test the spirit, know your own archetype, and watch out for the reflection, right? Watch out for the reflection and then know who you are. When you know who you are, you're no longer going to settle or stay in certain relationships or situations that don't empower, uplift, and encourage you to become the winner that you are meant to be. You are already a winner. You are already successful. You are already divine and powerful. So surround yourself with people who light that fire. Surround yourself with people who push you out to the forefront because they know you are the bomb.com. Surround yourself with people who are going to hold you accountable to your greatness. Okay? If you're around people that's dimming your light, that's being shady, throwing jokes, thinking they funny, but we know every joke has a hint of truth, pay attention to that because you're worth more. All right? Peace and love, family. Gotta get off of here. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.